Hi guys, I'm Ferguson here at J-Kun for Anime New Zealand APG Media, and we're interviewing a special guest today for the Anicast. We're talking to Sheh, a voice actress who is coming to New Zealand for New Zealand Armageddon Expo and NZ Comic-Con in Wellington. So, hello, I'm Jesse Ferguson, J-Kun here for Anime New Zealand and APG, and we're speaking to Sheh, a voice actress who's been in major anime series such as Orome and Bleach, Hinata Hyuga and Naruto, Eureka and Eureka 7, plus many more roles in anime, video games, commercials, and TV shows. And we'd like to thank the time for joining us today. Hi there.
Hello, hi.
How are you today?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Not too bad. We're really looking forward to Armageddon, and we're looking forward to seeing you.
Yes, me too. I'm really excited. It's been a while since I've been to New Zealand, and last time I went, it was awesome. So I'm really excited to go back.
Okay. So is this so you've been to New Zealand before?
Yes. Last time, let's see what happened. I did a convention in Australia first, one weekend.
Yeah.
Then I flew to Wellington.
Yeah.
And I rented a car.
Okay.
And I spent the week driving all the way up to Auckland.
Oh, yeah.
And then the following weekend, I did a convention in Auckland.
Oh, okay. Oh, so did you enjoy your ride in New Zealand? Did you stop anywhere, any of the tourist spots, or just head straight to Auckland?
Oh, no, I stopped a lot. So
Yeah.
what did I do? Oh my gosh. I went kayaking. I went whitewater rafting. I went to the Waitomo caves, and I, went caving and inner tubing. And then I went to see a lot of the thermal pools. I kind of drove all over the place. It was just myself. I drove by myself, and and I think at that time, I don't remember what time of year it was, but it was like baby season for like sheep.
Yeah. Lambing season.
There was a lot of little baby lambs, and I would just pull over to the side of the road and take pictures and talk to cows, and it was awesome. I had a good time.
Oh, that sounds like you had a good time. So you're looking forward to coming back to Wellington again?
Yeah, so last time the convention itself wasn't in Wellington, it was in Auckland.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to actually have a convention in Wellington. So
yeah, no, and we're really looking forward to you coming along. As me, a big anime fan, I've seen most of the series you're in, so it's really awesome. I've got some more questions here. So, probably been asked many times, but what led you or inspired you to start voice acting? What started it off for you?
Well, I always wanted to be an actress, and it was something that I had always, that was my dream, and I wasn't one of, some voice actors really, when they were kids, dreamed about doing voices, wanting to be in cartoons, and that wasn't me. I just wanted to act, and then in college, I was assigned to do an article on the Japanese Anime Club at UCLA.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I went to a meeting and watched anime for the first time, and I was totally hooked.
Oh, yeah.
And I became a fan, and then, and many new fans, you try to find as much anime as possible and watch as much as possible. And at that time, I was not very happy with the dubs. I was very more of a subtitle girl. And when I was pursuing acting, I thought, well, the acting in these anime dubs aren't that good, so it shouldn't be that hard to do that. So I ended up pursuing that. And that ended up kind of, I've had a lot of tremendous great luck in that realm, and that kind of opened up a whole other world. I should probably say that my physicality in terms of being an actress is really specific. I'm an ethnic minority. I'm extremely short. So these are all things that if you're trying to pursue something of an on-camera career, it's very hard uh, because you may not physically look like the part. So voiceover has been really great to me because I can play, you know, people of any ethnicity and any height.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds really interesting. Do you actually have any favorite roles that you've performed like at any time? Like, have you had a favorite role, or do you have favorite roles?
I don't really. I generally get really into whatever I'm doing at the moment. I don't. It's hard to pick favorites. I'm just not that type of person. I don't like a favorite type of person. If you ask me what my favorite food is and ask me like what my favorite movie or TV show, I would, or even my favorite color, I would have a hard time picking just one.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Because I've seen your list of anime, like all the acting you've done, especially in video games as well. It's quite extensive. You've done quite a lot of work. So when since you started off, looking at dubs and subtitles, have you noticed any trends in animation or cartoons in the recent years? Like, I've noticed, there's been a bit more content that's been, leading towards more adult audiences. So, do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, do you mean specifically animation or specifically anime?
I'd say both. Animation has been both, kids and adults, but as you see, like maybe like for example, like Attack on Titan is a bit more adult
Right.
oriented, and you see like a lot more anime being spin off kind of from that kind of experience. So I'm just wondering if you have
I,
any thoughts over it.
I mean, I feel like in terms of anime, the one thing that I feel doesn't happen as much. I think that in the past, there were a lot of storytellers, a lot of directors, um, and writers who had great ideas in the anime industry that could create an awesome series. And I feel like nowadays, unless it's based on a super popular manga, or if the show is, it's kind of, the shows I feel like are more geared towards selling toys, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I feel like the industry, the anime industry, it can no longer sustain. It can't, in Japan, it can't make money just selling DVDs anymore, you know?
yeah,
It's gone more to a streaming model, and I think the profit margin streaming is much smaller. So what ends up happening is they make money by licensing merchandise and toys. So I feel like the stories, for the most part, tend to be more. You'll find stories that are more geared towards the toys that people can buy, or they're geared toward the super otaku. Because even though the super otaku niche market it doesn't make up a lot of people, they tend to spend more money. They buy more stuff.
yeah.
So you'll get more shows that are like more in line with something like Haruhi, something that is not very, sorry, that's give me a second.
Yeah, it's fine.
Ippudo, shush, come here. You'll get stuff that's more in line, that is not really great for Western audiences.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll get stuff that's more in line with Western, that's more in line with for the otaku market, and not that translatable to broader Western audiences because
Yeah,
of it, because they're more marketing to who's going to buy more merchandise.
yeah,
So that's a little bit sad. In the original animation realm and content, I will say that I think that there are more shows that are more have anime influences. I think
yeah,
that you have creators that when they were kids grew up watching anime, and now they're animators themselves and directors and writer, and they're taking those influences. So you'll have stuff like Avatar and
yeah.
Korra, and you'll have stuff like even like in Adventure Time, there'll be characters that seem to be really influenced by the Asian properties. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's kind of the like series I'd be thinking. That was more geared to adults. So you've done many anime roles, but also you've done gaming roles. Does gaming more of the gaming voices take more of a toll on you than anime roles, especially with different actions you have to repeat different voices in different tones?
Well, it's definitely more taxing, especially when it comes to screaming and, the efforts,
Yeah, yeah.
the yelling and the dying and the hitting and all that kind of stuff. That's definitely way more taxing. Um, so yes, yeah, the answer I guess would be yes. It's a lot more taxing. The other thing too is when you're doing video games, there is you don't get a break, right? Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just have your script
yeah.
and then you just go down and do the lines. Whereas with anime, you're matching the picture, you're matching the animation. So before each line, they're going to play you the Japanese as a reference.
Yeah.
So you're going to watch it first. So it doesn't seem like much, but for then each line, you get a little break before you have to say the line because you're previewing it, you're watching it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Fair
So
enough. Um, I've got a few more questions. So do you have any advice you'd like to pass on to any voice actors that are looking to enter the industry or just starting off?
yeah, definitely. I think my main thing is that if you're really serious about this career, you have to treat it like a career and a business. You have to treat it with the focus and the attitude that you would if you were going to become an accountant or a doctor or a lawyer, which means, there is education and you have to know your market. You have to think of yourself as your own company,
Yeah.
So there's networking involved, there's all sorts of things. You treat it like a business. It's a great and fun job, but there's
Yeah.
there's a whole financial side. You have to invoice, you have to take care of your own taxes, you have to pay your own health insurance. There's all sorts of business end that you have to respect and take care of when you're an actor. The other thing too is just to keep in mind that specifically voice acting for anime
Yeah.
doesn't pay a lot of money.
Okay.
So if people are in it to think that they're going to make it rich or that they think that, that it's so cool and they'll feel like a celebrity, it's not really going to happen if you're just doing voiceover for anime. You'll probably have to do other jobs or voiceovers for other projects other than
Yes.
anime.
Yeah.
Um, and then the last thing too is to remember that when we're talking about voice acting, I think the most important part of that is the acting part. It's not just about making voices.
Yeah.
The It's actually more important that you're a good actor than how many different voices you can do.
So thank you very much for that advice. Quite an interesting question. Is there any role, like not limited to just anime, but is there any role you'd like to take on or do that is like currently coming up or is currently being done that you would like to do if you could take the chance to replace that person?
Oh my gosh. I never think about replacing anybody.
Oh no, not like that, but like if you want, if they offered you the role of a lifetime, like I wouldn't say replace, but like if they gave you the
um,
chance to do something, would you take it? Like what specific
I
role
mean,
would you
I
take?
just think in general, I uh, I love original animation. I would like to do more of that.
Yeah.
I'd like to maybe work my way into like a Pixar feature or a
Oh
Disney
yes.
feature. That would
Yeah.
be awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I'm obsessed with Disneyland. So
I
I
haven't been to LA, so I really would love to go there.
Oh,
Actually.
well, I've had some. Last year was such a great year for me. I got to even though it was just little bit parts, but I got to do a voice in a Miyazaki dub.
Oh
Or not,
okay.
sorry, it's not Miyazaki. It's not
Oh,
a Miyazaki film. It's a
so.
Ghibli film.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
was a non-Miyazaki Ghibli film.
Yeah.
But it was a Ghibli dub, and so that was like a dream come true. And then I got to do a voice for Space Mountain
Oh
for
yeah.
Disneyland.
Oh
So
cool.
that was also a dream come true. So um, it's been good. I don't know. I guess I should set better goals.
Oh, that's all right. Oh, excuse me. I had another question on my mind and I just completely forgot it. So, what was it? Um, I think it's gone. I'll have to
It's
go.
all right.
I'll
If
go
it
to my
comes
next.
back, just ask it.
Yeah, no problem. another question I have is, have you had any specific roles that you like really enjoyed like performing or acting, like in anything like anime or video game? Like, did you have one that you really enjoyed doing just throughout the process?
Well, I mean, I think that there's so many, like everything. It's hard. I guess what I'm trying to say is like every role, there's something different that you love about it. The Sailor Moon stuff right now is a lot of fun. The character is so wacky and so much range. It's so great. And also just seeing fans react to it has been really wonderful. I think it's cool to be part of a project that is so full of like female empowerment. When I was on Legend of Korra, that was a whole other experience. The other actors in that show were so talented, and the director was so good. It was just, and that was a group record, so everyone's in the recording studio at once, and that was just like a thrilling, fun time. Anytime I got to go in and record that. So, every kind of show has a different thing that you enjoy. So,
and actually, now I remember the question. What was your first fan encounter like a person that actually knew what you've done? Have you actually had one what was the first one you remember?
Oh, I don't. That's hard to say. Because, like when you go to conventions, I remember going to like conventions early on, and nobody knew who I was.
Yeah, because you consider it because it is, you're behind the screen. You're not really shown by your face, but
I don't even mean that. I mean, I went to a convention. I think I had done 2 shows. I had done Furikuri, and I had done I'm Gonna Be an Angel. And at the time, like nobody knew what Furikuri was.
Okay.
So people were like, oh, like they're like, what have you been in? Oh, I've never heard of that, and like they just didn't know who I was. I was like, okay. And I remember there was like another girl at that convention, and she had done a lot of shows, but she had done like really small parts in them, like such and such one, such and such's mom, or like, girl student, or like really kind of like incidentals and Walla stuff. But she was in shows that at that convention people knew more,
yeah.
like just like in his and her circumstances and some other stuff. And so people were very like going crazy over it, and then they just like they didn't know who I was. Like I remember that. I was like, okay, you feel kind of silly sitting there, but I guess it's just all part of the process.
That's very awesome. That's all the questions I have. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions about New Zealand or about Armageddon or anything like that you'd like to ask me?
Well, I've been to Armageddon before, so I think I should be okay. I don't know. No, I don't think I do. I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to take polls when I get there.
Yeah.
In my autograph line.
Yes.
I will just poll people and ask them what I should do. But of course, everyone's going to say something different.
yeah, especially. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time out to talk to us today. It's just been really awesome, and you have really thoughtful insight into the anime industry as well as voice acting as well. So I can't thank you enough.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks so much.
Oh, that's Stephanie Sheh, and we'll be seeing her at Wellington Armageddon, and thank you so much for joining today.
You're welcome. Bye.
We can't thank Stephanie Sheh enough for joining us today for the Anicast, and we also like to give a big shout out to the Armageddon Expo Wellington and NZ Comic Con for providing the guests for us, and we can't thank them enough, and we're looking forward to heading down there. If you'd like to find out more information about the Armageddon Expo, go to armageddonexpo.com, get tickets now, find out guest schedules and all that, and Stephanie Sheh will be there, and also we're going to be live there at #AnimeNZ live coverage at Armageddon Expo Wellington. We're going to be live all weekend, so make sure you join us. But thank you for joining us to this Anicast today. We're so excited. Thank you, Stephanie Sheh. Thank you, Armageddon Expo, and we can't thank you enough for joining us.